My ex-husband, who cheated on me with my sister, emailed me after 6 years. I, 33, female, met my ex-husband, Dan, 40, female, almost 15 years ago at a restaurant when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was really nice, charming, and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For some context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom and dad used to always fight. My dad would sometimes go out and not come back for months. He died when my sister Abby, 25, female, was born. My mom was way too fond of Abby since her birth rather than me. Abby was basically babied by my mother. She didn't neglect me at all, always did her best as a mother, and provided for me, but I always felt sometimes missing. After Dan came into my life, I didn't feel like there was something missing from me. He supported me. He was caring. He would always buy me gifts and take me out for a long time. Drives. I felt complete when I was with him. We got married after dating for 4 years. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan encouraged me to do my master's and helped me build my career. He wanted us to be in a stable position financially before we start thinking about having kids. Seriously, he was the best guy I could ever ask for. After 5 years of being happily married, I discovered that my husband was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered the affair when my husband made an excuse that he would go out of town for a week, but he stayed in town and he booked a hotel room where he and Abby can have sex. This has been going on for 6 months. My back. I was really devastated. Abby and I were close growing up. I loved her and cared for her. How could she do this to me? After D-Day, Dan and I had a fight. I asked how. Could he do this to me? That too, with my sister, who just turned 19, he said he didn't love me anymore, that I don't give him enough attention. I am not the same girl he fell in love with. In this mess, I discovered that I was pregnant, but due to the stress, I lost the baby. He didn't even care enough to visit me at the hospital when I lost our child. He was having a weekend getaway with my sister. I should have seen the signs. Abby would always be touchy with Dan. Dan would sometimes stare at her, but it is still very disturbing for me. My mother, as usual, took Abby's side, and she told me to just make peace with it. I wanted to kill myself because I had no one left. I lost my child, my husband, and my whole family. Then my best friend Tina, my savior, came to my rescue. She was moving to another state and asked me to come with her. I said yes. I was already divorced at that point, and we lived in a small town. So I would obviously run into my ex and my sister. It took me a while to settle into my new life in a different state, but I met some kind of people there. It helped me heal from some trauma. I still have trust issues. I met my now husband, Tony, 32 MA, after 1 year of moving to the new place. I was really hesitant and kept my guard up, but he showed me that he is trustworthy and loves me a lot. I was so happy with him that I almost forgot about the life I had back in my hometown. His parents were really welcoming and generous people. We got married a year ago. I am now pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I got an email from my ex, Dan. It just brought back all the bad memories. I am just paraphrasing his email. He mentioned that he missed me. He tried to find me but couldn't. He is very miserable with my sister. She is very dumb and doesn't care about him like I do. I used to bake him a cake and throw birthday parties for him, but Abby only texted him happy birthday and didn't even bother to buy him a cake. Plus, she is very rude, she doesn't respect him, and she is always at the bar with her friends. He also mentioned that she has cheated on him 5 times already. The last affair was with his cousin. Our mother also doesn't stop her. He will soon file for divorce, but lately, he has been missing me a lot. He wants us to try again as a couple. He wants us to become a family just like before. Since I do not have social media except for Instagram, which is private, he probably doesn't know that I am married and that I have a baby on the way. I don't know if I should feel pity for him or just laugh because the grass on his side is very brown rather than green. Update. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who messaged and showed me support. I have decided to send him an email and be done with it. It goes like this. Dan, I am sorry to hear that you are suffering, but there is no way I would be with you. Yes, there was a time when I used to be that girl who would have taken you in a heartbeat, but that girl is not there anymore. That girl died the day I had a miscarriage, and you were somewhere shacking up with my sister. I called you, but you never picked it up. I am married to a wonderful man who loves me and cherishes me. I am also pregnant with our first child. I am beginning this new chapter of my life with someone I love and care deeply about. So, please, do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or she doesn't respect you. Someone like you doesn't deserve loyalty and respect anyway. I have left my old life in my old town. It will be best for you to move on and have some self-reflection on yourself. You are just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by your side. Goodbye. Update 2, 3 March. A lot of you have been asking me what he replied. Well, he replied within an hour of me emailing him. He said that he was stupid enough to believe that I would still wait for him. And he said he would always wait for me because, no matter, I will always be his baby doll. I cringed hard. He used to call me that, but now it feels repulsive. I also got an email from my mom and my sister. My mom just congratulated me and was excited that she was going to be a grandmother. And my sister also did the same and said she would be the cool aunt. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them. And moreover, you betrayed me. I cried for a long time because I have been reading your comments, and it seems like me and my sister were groomed by that man. I feel so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she's old enough to know it's bad to have an affair with a married man. That too, someone who is your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I am already 5 months pregnant. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried. Later, he took me out for ice cream. I hope I can move past this. I am cooled down now, and I think I can make a more elaborate update. Thanks to everyone who has shown me support. I needed it. The email from him, my ex, just struck me like a train. I had flashbacks of everything he had done to me. I think you guys deserve a detailed update. After I sent him the reply mail, he emailed me within an hour with the things I said in my update 2-part. A few hours later, I got 2 other emails from my mom and sister. They sent me my old email address, which I rarely use. Now, I don't know how they knew about my pregnancy. I try to keep a low profile. I still haven't posted my baby bump pics on social media or made any announcements. I only have Instagram to follow my friends, but it just scared me. I broke down, crying, on the spot. Luckily, my husband Tony was around. He held me and put me on the couch. He knows everything about me. I never hid anything from him. I was a little bit scared that my mom and sister would find me. He reassured me that I was hundreds of miles away from them. I mean, we are in the opposite part of our country. He took me out for ice cream to comfort me. It took 2 ice cream cones to finally calm me down. I told him about my concerns and that my mom and sister might demand to see my baby. It's a girl. He told him he would talk to his uncle, who is a police officer, to be out for them. Even if they came here and forced themselves on you, he would fight for it. He is going to consult with his lawyer friend about this matter, and she told me not to worry about my ex. He can't harm me anymore. My husband even made a joke that he would move countries if he had to. Lastly, someone in my post commented that I should alert the daycare about my mom and sister in case they try to steal my baby. Well, we aren't planning to put her in daycare. Even though I am currently working, I decided I would quit my job, look after my baby, and focus on healing from giving birth. I do have a good amount of savings in my personal bank, and this is my own decision. I will go back to work when our little princess is a little bit older. My in-laws are amazing. My MIL and Fiel live nearby. They are both good people and offered to help with my child. Also, don't worry. Apart from my in-laws, I have a good support system too. Tina and her wife Jenny basically adopted me. They are really good people, and they always helped me. I don't know what will happen in the future, but at least I am surrounded by some good people that I never had growing up. Now, I will take your leave and enjoy. My husband is pampering me. If something big happens, I will keep you guys updated. And my ex, sister, and mother are all blocked. My husband cheated on me with my favorite sister. I don't even know where to start. Myself, named Jessica, 27, female, and my husband of 2 years, named Connor, 27, male, have always had a good relationship. Great sex, good communication, barely any drama between us. Our marriage was so amazing, and it was like a dream to be with my husband. But he apparently didn't feel the same way because he went behind my back and cheated on me with my sister. So it basically started when my sister, named Sarah, 22, female, first met my husband a few months ago on Christmas 2023. Me and my husband live in California, and my sister still lives with my family. While my mom was pregnant with her, the doctors predicted my sister wouldn't survive. My mom cried so much. On the day she found out she was probably not going to make it. To add the cherry on top, pregnancy was really rough on her physically. She had very intense mood changes, which would make her lash out at me. On the day my sister was born, my mom needed to stay in the hospital for 1 week and a half due to the damages she sustained. When my mom came home, she was so excited to see her newborn. She kept crying out of joy while saying, "It's a miracle," while she hugged her. She's always been more attractive than me, so I think that also played a factor in her favoritism. When we were younger, my parents would only take her side in disagreements. On my birthday, the cake would always have her favorite color, light blue, and not my favorite color, pastel purple, and the cake would always have the same number of candles as her age and not mine. She would always get more presents than me on my birthday, but when it was her birthday, I wouldn't get anything. And when I asked about why she got presents on my birthday, I wouldn't get any of hers from my parents. Would immediately get mad at me, and they would ground me the following week. Even with the few toys I got on holidays, my sister would find a way to take them from me. On my middle school graduation, they didn't attend because my sister didn't want to go, and in their own. In other words, they didn't want her to stay home alone, even though she literally has been babysitting before. These situations are just the tip of the iceberg, but I don't want this post to be too long. Anyway, when my husband visited my family on Christmas, he and Sarah were talking a lot. I could obviously tell my sister tried to make a move on my husband because she wore an extremely revealing dress when she found out my husband was coming. She was also speaking in a very seductive voice when speaking to my husband, and only my husband. They exchanged numbers after that. A month after Christmas, my husband would hide his phone when I was near. He would also walk away from me and go into the other room when he only answered phone calls, which was weird because he never does that. I asked my husband numerous times who he was texting and chatting with, and he always said it was his brother. I asked to see his phone, and he immediately got mad at me, saying, "Are you accusing me of cheating? You're so insecure for no reason." These words really hurt me since one of my past exes would say the same thing to me to gaslight me, and he knows about it because I vented to him about my ex multiple times. That night, he slept on the couch. At 1 a.m., I woke up to go to the toilet. I could hear him giggling on the couch with his phone, so I went up to him and snatched the phone from him, and then my jaw dropped. He was texting my sister all this time. I went and locked myself in the bathroom to read all the texts they'd sent. It was horrifying. I found out through messages that they've hooked up multiple times, including sending explicit photos of their genitals to each other. My husband kept banging on the door and screaming at me. When I was done reading the messages, my husband was basically crippled on the floor, crying, sobbing, and screaming, saying, "I'm sorry, please don't leave me." I unlocked the door, packed my stuff, and went to my best friend's house a few blocks over. I took our car and drove at 2 in the morning. I knocked on my best friend's door for 10 minutes before she woke and answered. She saw me crying and took me in. I explained the whole story to her, and she was enraged at my husband. I am currently writing this at my best friend's house the next day. My husband has sent me thousands of texts and calls. I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for aborting after finding out about my ex? My husband was cheating on me with my sister? About 2 months ago, I became pregnant, which was supposed to be a life-changing experience, was ruined when I found out my soon-to-be ex-husband, Tristan, was cheating on me with my sister Donna for nearly 2 years. They got messy, and I found the messages. They didn't even try to apologize when I confronted them. Tristan just said he was done hiding his true love, and now we could start the divorce. Donna kept rubbing it in my face that she had taken my man. When I asked Tristan why he would lead me on for this long, he said, was the safe choice. He always loved Donna, but his parents loved me. But by the time he realized he loved Donna, it was too late for them to get together, whatever that means. I was completely heartbroken. He wasn't kind at all when we started the processing. And with the prenup and me beginning a stay-at-home wife, I had nothing. I moved out to live with my best friend, Christina, and her family before he kicked me out like I knew he would, been so kind and caring. My mom took my sister, and my dad and brothers stayed. Neutral, which to me was basically taking Donna's side. During all of this, my mind was so stressed, and I couldn't think about how now I basically had become their surrogate, since it would take a while for me to find a job in the field I studied in. College is very hard to get a job in without connections, and even for that, you need years, experiences, which I didn't have, and he would be the primary parent and could just trick my baby into seeing Donna as their mom. I couldn't let that happen. I talked with Christina, and she was fully on my side. It took a couple days, but I was set. I didn't tell anyone apart from Christina about what I was doing. I had the operation. I felt empty, but Christina has been amazing. I decided to tell Tristan what I did. I just texted him. I'm no longer pregnant. After that, my phone was blowing up with messages and calls from them. They thought I had miscarriage and were concerned after I revealed what I had done. The message switched up and called me all names under the sun. Donna threatened to get back at me for doing this to her man. Tristan called me heartless, and my brothers have disowned me. Care, really. My mom, like Donna, called me names and said I wasn't her daughter anymore. My dad hasn't spoken to me since. I don't think I was wrong. I don't want to be tied down to these people, and that's all the baby was going to do. But some friends, not Christina, said I took my anger on an innocent kid, and I would love it despite the circumstances. Am I the asshole?